What's up, everybody? The Washington Wizards fall in overtime to the Brooklyn Nets, 122-119, breaking their three-game winning streak. But it was definitely a Poole party tonight because Jordan Poole did his thing. So we're going to talk about that and celebrate with you guys like we always do next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again with my guy, the real Ed Oliver. We both appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's it, $5. That's $200 if your bet wins. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. So the Washington Wizards do fall in overtime tonight, breaking their three-game losing streak, 122-119 to the Brooklyn Nets. But Jordan Poole, man, dropping 36 on the Brooklyn Nets. So we're definitely going to talk about that and then get into comments. But let's get right into Jordan Poole. I guess let me start by saying this. What lost the game? I guess that's the question everybody wants to know. What lost the game? Was it offensive rebounding leading to second chance points? Was it turnovers leading to, points off turnovers? Or was it Corey Kisper's missed free throw? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely a combination. They did give up a couple offensive boards to Nicholas Claxton in that overtime, or they gave that putback dunk to start off the overtime. They still found a way to tie it up. But, Corey missing that free throw. Denny took a tough shot where he got blocked. Yeah. Before the end of regulation, and Jordan Poole was super, super hot. Kuzma took a shot, he missed it as well. And I just thought in that last sequence in regulation, you give it to the hot hand in Jordan Poole. And, I don't think it was a bad shot by Denny or a bad shot by Kuzma. But when Denny took it in there and he got blocked, I thought Jordan Poole, Brian Keefe should have drew up a play for Jordan Poole. But, Cam Thomas was cooking the whole game, but the missed free throw certainly hurt, and it's just an uncharacteristic thing from Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert didn't have a great night shooting the basketball, but when he got fouled, and Denny made a really good stop to stop Cam Thomas, we got the rebound. Cam Thomas fouled Corey on the rebound. I was like, okay, this is money. We're going to tie this up and potentially go to overtime and have a good chance to keep the winning streak going, but Corey Kispert missed the second free throw, so I was pretty surprised. Of all people, one of the best free throw shooters and one of the best shooters on the team, if not the best three-point shooter on the Wizards, misses that free throw. So, and then, we both talked about it before we got on here. Did they get away? Did the Nets get away with grabbing Jordan Poole's his arm?
Yeah.
I do think they did get away with it, but we know how things go for the Wizards. I don't know if Brian Keefe could have challenged that play. I think it was a little too late, but maybe he could have tried. But I don't think they would have gotten it, honestly. I don't think they would have went back and gave it to us. But, so it is what it is on that. And, it was a Jordan Poole and Cam Thomas. They had a duel tonight, man. They both had, 35, 38. Yeah. Jordan Poole ended up with 38. Cam Thomas ended up with 38. So 38 each. Jordan Poole was just super hot, man. So I got to give him his credit for, the way he started the season, which was really awful, where he was getting booed at home. He deserved a standing ovation tonight. He was just unconscious. He really couldn't miss. He took some really good shots. He took some tough shots too, where he just pulled up. It was knocking him down. So I loved everything I saw from Jordan Poole tonight. And looking at his number 2, he had 8 assists. So he got his guys involved tonight, man. He had a really good shoot night. So this was his best game of the season for sure. And he's just played he's played a lot better in the second half after the All-Star break. So really tonight, man, the missed free throw, giving up the offensive boards. And it's not like we had a bad night rebounding. Yeah. You look at the rebounding category, it was 45-44. So we've seen nights where we've been out rebounded by 20 rebounds. That wasn't the case. Denny had a great night rebounding the ball. He had a double-double. Kyle Kuzma had a great night rebounding the ball. He had 10 boards, so he had a double-double. And then Bagley chipped in a little bit with 6 boards. So Jordan Poole had 7 boards. So it's not like we just got dominated on the glass tonight, especially with Rashawn Holmes having a toe injury. So just just a tough way to go out. They rallied back. They fought hard. They got some stops down the stretch to be able to tie it up. But that missed free throw, man, it kind of haunts me a little bit where Gilbert Arenas missed that free throw that one time when LeBron whispered in his ear. Not anywhere near as bad because the Wizards were actually in the playoffs when that happened. But to see Corey Kispert miss a free throw definitely haunts me for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't very clutch. I mean, you know what I mean? But, it is what it is. I mean, it's tough. Being in that position, man, that is a position that a lot of people couldn't handle, man. It's definitely tough to watch him miss that free throw, man. But Jordan Poole, I mean, has he officially arrived? Man, look, he's been playing some good basketball. I mean, when they made that switch to 6-man, his role in Golden State, he shined. And now at starting point guard, I mean, the way he drive in the lane, and we all know who my favorite Wizard of all time is, the late, I mean, not late, but the great John Wall, in my opinion. But watching him drive that lane, man, reminded me a lot of J-Dub, man. I mean, he utilized his speed, and he was driving the lane and getting layups at will, man. Jordan Poole, I'll say this, like you said, E, the fact that, being traded, come over here, figure out who he was in DC, acclimating to being in DC as opposed to Golden State. There were maturity issues. There were issues here and there, but he took his L's and he worked his butt off. I mean, even being sent to the bench to be the 6-man. A lot of people, man, you're going from starter to 6-man, but have issue with that, especially young players, man. They ain't having that. I mean, but he took his L. He worked his butt off. Starting point guard, he looked good tonight. Has he arrived? I think so, man. I think that he needs to keep pushing. Consistency is the name of the game, obviously, but we saw tonight what his ceiling can be. We knew, coming over from Golden State, that this is what his ceiling can be. He just needed to bring all the other factors as far as a basketball player into play, which is the mental part of it, the leadership part of it, the work ethic, which was never an issue going back to Golden State. But, I said it all year long. Once he figures out who he is as a player in DC, he's going to be all right. Obviously the issues there and there were annoying, but look, the talent, this is the ceiling. He played good ball, man. He got people involved. Let's get to the stats because I'm very, very excited tonight. Look, 44 minutes, 38 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 15 for 24, 5 for 12 from 3, 3 from 3 from free throw. You can get him, I guess, 4 turnovers is probably the only negative. 4 personal fouls, but honestly, with a night like this, I could care less. He got other people involved. Now, at times, a little ISO, not utilizing the shot clock, but look, really nothing negative to say about Jordan Poole. We witnessed tonight what his ceiling can be. So the thing now is, look, you have the work ethic, Jordan. We know you got the talent. You want to be the guy, take it. Take the position. Because going forward, if you look at his age, he's young. He hasn't hit his prime yet. He could be a cornerstone here. It's just the other factors of being a player, the mental part of it, the leadership part of it, the other things that he had to learn on the go and take his L's and move on. But, man, if he wants to be the guy, we see the ceiling. We see the potential with him, and that's why I'm very excited because, look, let's get into the rest of the roster and then start the fight tonight. Corey Kispert, I guess, from a shooting standpoint, underwhelming. I'm not going to get him about the free throw. Even though it wasn't the most clutch situation for him, but 15 points. 2 boards, no assists, shot, 6 for 15 for the field, 2 for 8 from 3. But look, I'm not concerned. He's definitely going to bounce back. Plus 15 points, not too shabby. Denny Avia, Turbo, again, the breakout dude, man. 17 points, 12 boards, 3 assists, 5 for 10 for the field, 1 for 3 from 3. Free throws, missed a couple, but they're not highlighted like Corey Kispert, so it is what it is. But Kyle Kuzma, again. That guy, that source of points, man, that leader on his team in 43 minutes, 24 points, 6 boards, 10 assists. So he got other people involved. That's what we've been saying about Kuz, man. If he's going to be that guy going forward in a rebuild a young team, definitely get other people involved. And look, he's doing that. Shooting 10 for 19 for the field, 3 for 4 from 3. And looking at Rashawn Holmes, obviously the toe contusion, 12 minutes. I'm not going to get on him for not scoring because, he went in the game, his toe was all jacked up, so I'm not going to get on, man. But getting to the second unit, not a lot going on. Anthony Gill, 15 minutes, 5 points. Johnny Davis, 16 points, 2 points. Jared Butler didn't score, but I felt like he had some energy on the defensive end. But Marvin Bagley, man. Marvin Bagley, third. We say it time and time again, E. He has found his spot. he has found the right system, the right situation for him to flourish. He's playing really good basketball, high-level basketball in DC. And look, he needs to be that starting center next year. I mean, he look 2 for 2 from 3, so he can stretch the floor. I mean, he's very active defensively. Rebounding is very active. This is, I mean, it's so Wizards, right? Because we go from this team being probably, I mean, we still one of the worst teams in the NBA, but you have seen so much fire, so much competitive spirit in this team these last 15 games, man. I mean, it's going to be the last 15 games, what I'm saying. But I mean, this is the type of play we wanted to see, playing to win, playing hard. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That, you know, looking at the interim head coach, Brian Keefe, he has earned himself an interview, in my opinion. Now, obviously, we want to shoot a little higher, you know, maybe go for Mike Budenholzer, but that's a whole other conversation for another time. But this team has definitely responded. You see a different team under interim head coach Brian Keefe than you did with Wes Unseld Jr. And so, you know, obviously a coaching change was definitely needed at the time. So this reinforces that. Good team game, in my opinion. Yeah, we took the L, but look, Cam Thomas, man, that dude can score. I mean, Mikal Bridges, we know what he can do. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. We're dealing with a lot of injuries, but I'll take it. Really a good culture game because we fought hard. And that's all we can really ask this young roster, man. So, you know, I'm very happy. And like I said, with Jordan Poole, real quick before we move on, look, if he wants to be here, if he wants to be the guy, if he wants to be the cornerstone, you can be that guy. Just because this is the ceiling when he's locked in. It's just getting him locked in. And he was locked in tonight. Like I said, his ability to drive the lane at ease reminded me of John Wall, in my opinion, because John Wall could drive the lane anytime he wanted to. I mean, just the speed. I mean, and we've been saying, you know, for a while, we wanted this team to pick up the tempo. And if you look at it, and they kind of mentioned it on the broadcast tonight, that, you know, Brian Keefe was saying, pick up the pace, bring up the tempo. You know, so great game tonight. Pool party was definitely in effect for Wednesday, man. So definitely happy for Jordan Poole, man. Keep it rolling, man. Keep it going because, look, we see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Jordan Poole with 38. I said the stats wrong. Kyle Kuzma had 10 assists, not 10 boards. And yeah, Denny had 12 boards, so he was rebounding really well. But yeah, Jordan Poole was getting to the basket. He did whatever he felt like doing tonight. He was getting to the basket. He had the mid-range game going, the three-pointer going, 5 for 12 from the three-point line. I mean, they couldn't stop him. They started doubling him at one point. That might have been the reason why he didn't take one of the shots at the end of the game. I don't really care. I mean, I still feel like they should have tried their best for him to take that last shot. But you could see Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges and Finney Smith, other guys just doubling, trying to get the ball out of his hands when he got to, 30 or something like that. They were just like, yeah, we got to double this guy. We got to stop him. And, you know, we didn't really double Cam Thomas. We went to a zone at one point trying to get the ball out of his hands, but that might have been an adjustment they could have made just to get the ball out of Cam Thomas's hands. But Cam Thomas was just cooking. He was just unstoppable at some point. Same thing with Jordan Poole. Both those guys were just had crazy nights tonight. This was a fun game to watch. Disappointing that we lost, but you can't knock the effort from both teams.
Absolutely, I'm with you, E. So definitely we took an L tonight, y'all, but definitely a good culture win, man. And we'll definitely take it, man, because there you are playing hard these days, man. So we're gonna get into the culture. Oh, hey, about that culture, right? So definitely a good culture game, man. But we're going to get into comments, man, like we always do. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Nissan. Are you the kind of driver that likes to push things a little further? Ever wondered what adventure could be around the next corner? Our friends at Nissan have a lineup of SUVs with the capabilities to take your adventure to the next level. So there are 3 great options that you could talk about: the Rogue, the Pathfinder, and the Armada. I'm biased. I'm going to roll with the Pathfinder because that's my favorite personally. The 2024 Nissan Pathfinder has room up to 8, an expansive cargo capacity, and advanced availability or available 4x4 capability. With 284 horsepower and up to 6,000 pounds towing, when adventure calls, the Pathfinder is there to answer. Take the Nissan Rogue, the Nissan Pathfinder, or the Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by Amazon Fire TV. Fire TV is your destination for sports, for live games, to highlights, to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's an opening weekend for baseball, oh, Lord have mercy, or the college basketball tournament, yes, sir, you're going to want to have Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes all of us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels lets you dive in to all of the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all of the latest in the world of sports, March Madness, NBA, MLB, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. All you have to do is visit www.amazon.com/lockedonfiretv. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn on the Vine with all that shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports today brings you the can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. So let's get into some. Before we get into comments, you got anything else you would cover with the next gaming?
Nah, I'm ready for comments.
Let's get it, man. And then you see any man, go ahead and pull them up, man.
Yes, sir.
Guess we'll start from the top. Edian says, Poole, I never doubted you. I mean, look, this man got it this year. I mean, let's be real. This man then got booed by the fan base. He didn't have everybody get on him, talking about his maturities, this and that. I mean, for a young guy, I think we had to give credit where it's due. For a young guy to go through all that, because a lot of young players, they couldn't hack it. Looking at Ben Simmons, can't handle any kind of criticism. But anyways, I mean, he took his L's this year, and he worked his butt off. You can't help but to respect that. I mean, he got a lot of smoke, especially for a young guy. Year one in a new city, you're one half of being the guy with Kyle Kuzma, and the struggle like he did, have the issues like he did, to the point where we're trying to look at sports psychiatrists. He took his L's, he stepped up. And like I said, tonight, you see what his ceiling can be.
Right, yeah. Jordan Poole, I'm sorry, I was reading a tweet about this whole the Wizards staying in D.C. and Senator Lewis Lucas. She was making some tweets. But, I mean, Jordan Poole, to see where he came from earlier this year, where he just wasn't playing good ball, throwing the ball off the backboard, to Kuzma, we're down by 20, Shaq and a fool, getting blocked by Porzingis, just throwing up terrible shots, getting booed at home, and, going back and forth with Kuzma, the long right in the middle of the game, altercations, the video of him not paying attention to the huddle or paying attention to Wes Unseld Jr. So there were so many things at the beginning of the year that just did not look good. And to see him playing well like this, put up 38 and make it look easy, I mean, it's a huge transition for him, and for him to humble himself, come off the bench. We know he wasn't happy about coming off the bench. Now he's been starting, but I think it just helped him kind of reset his mentality. Like you said, he's a young guy. To get booed like that, and the whole situation with Golden State, where you see Draymond just got ejected within the first 4 minutes of the game tonight. So to come from that situation too, he's gone through a lot mentally the last 2 years or 2 seasons. So to see him play really well like this is just it's a good thing to see, especially during a rebuild. Because we traded Bradley Beal, and it kind of ended up being trading Brad, got Chris Paul, and then traded Chris Paul for Jordan Poole. So it's good to see that you get some value back for kind of, it's not directly the Bradley Beal trade, but indirectly, you kind of get something back for trading Bradley Beal, all the trades that we made over the summertime. So, you talked about him being a cornerstone. It's still up in the air for sure, but it's looking more likely than what it was in the beginning, because it was we may have to attach a pick to move him. Now, if he plays like this and it can be consistent, I think other teams may be calling for him, but at the same time, if he's playing well like this, then you may think about keeping him. So now it's just, you have more options than what it was before. Before it was like, you got to find a way to get him on another team. Yeah. But it's going to be really hard. But I'm just enjoying the way he's playing right now. He's playing really good basketball, and he's helping his teammates get better as well at the same time. So when he's doing that and focused, I have no problems with Jordan Poole at all.
Not at all. And you brought up a lot of good points, man. But I mean, look at his age. I mean, we're in a rebuild. I mean, his age alone is the reason why I would retain him. If you can see consistent performances like this, if he can hold true to what his ceiling is. Because, like I said, I was very excited when him coming over from Golden State because I knew that he could score. You know, I mean, he was very pivotal to them winning that title. You know, so he's that scorer, man. And like you said, he's starting to show that he can get other people involved. So I think he could if he wanted to be. Now, obviously, if he doesn't want to be here, you know, he has value. You know, if he continue to bring up performance, you know, play like this, we could definitely probably get a first round pick for him if he could be, you know, a player like this every night. So, you know, I'm definitely very impressed with him, man, and I'm definitely proud to see him take his L's and move on. And it appears also DC Onion also is. So this is a pool party we signed up for. Absolutely. You also said, B and Ed, why did Keith play Anthony Gill so many minutes when Bagley and the big Vuk over here? I think that's the one thing that was a little bit questionable in the small ball lineup. I feel like a bigger lineup, you know, we could have kind of dictated a lot more in the fourth quarter. But I guess regardless, they still fought hard, man. I mean, you still see a fight in this team that you didn't see early in the year, man.
Right, yeah. Anthony Gill, he had a good play. He did make. I want to say he made a three. Let me look at the stats in the game, but I know he had a nice pump fake and he got to the basket. I do remember that. He had a couple good minutes, so it wasn't like he was just awful out there. Yeah, he had 5 points, so he hit 1 3, played 16 minutes, 1 3, and then he hit a layup as well, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So, I mean, he was a +1, so he wasn't terrible out there. But yeah, would I rather seen Bagley play a little bit more? Sure, of course. And it's not like Bagley was in foul trouble. Vukcevic, he only got 4 minutes tonight. I thought he could have played a little bit more with Rashawn Holmes being out. He did hesitate. He should have shot a 3. He traveled, and then he ended up shooting another 3. He missed it. He went 0 for 2 from the field. 1 rebound tonight, 1 block, 1 turnover. So he just not a lot of time, not a lot of minutes. Same thing with Pat Baldwin Jr. He only got 4 minutes. Yeah. Johnny got 17 minutes, ended up with 2 points, and didn't shoot any threes, was 1 for 3. One comment said he looked kind of lost out there. I don't, Johnny, he's Johnny. So, I mean, it's just, it's not much to really say about it. Last game, he showed some life. Yeah. So I was happy to see that. But tonight, yeah, kind of was like, kind of went back to what he's been doing. But once again, you're just going to get those kind of games from Johnny Davis. But we're going to get a quick word from BetterHelp and then get to a couple more comments. But before we do, today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Sometimes we all need the opportunity to get something off our chest, big or small. Certain things can really start to get to you. It's important to let that out, especially to someone who's unbiased on your life. So today I want to say how I really feel about something. You might even be thinking about the same thing this week. So, of course, this was a tough loss. I got to get this off my chest as well, just going to double overtime in a game that we definitely could have won or should have won, and on a 3-game winning streak. Even though we're trying to get the best draft position, I really, really wanted to see us have a 4 to 5 game winning streak, especially with playing the Pistons next. They could have had a 5-game winning streak. It's something that we haven't done in a long time. But also living in Baltimore, speaking about the Key Bridge falling down, I know that was definitely traumatic for a lot of people to watch that on TV, and just all the families that were affected by that, definitely praying for them. And I know a lot of people could use BetterHelp about that, just that traumatizing experience. And just now, I know it's not as important as the lives that people lost, but I know just driving in that area, trying to get to work, trying to get to different places, it's definitely impacted traffic and different things for people. So like I said, I know it's not as important as the people that lost their lives, but it's just a lot going on in the city at this time. So BetterHelp is definitely a great thing to use if anybody needs to talk about that situation. Certainly, therapy can be different for everyone. Most of us have bigger problems than our favorite sports team, and it's important to get things off your chest every once in a while. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be flexible and suited to your schedule. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, so let's see. Here's a couple more comments. We probably won't be able to get to every comment, but tomorrow night we definitely will finish up as many comments as we can. So this is the one DMV for Life said, rough fourth quarter by Johnny. He looked shook out of nowhere. And Jordan Poole he went crazy in the third quarter too. I think he had like 15, 20 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But rough fourth quarter by Johnny. And the thing about Johnny, like I didn't even notice he was there. That's the thing about Johnny. Like he'll be out there, and I don't even really notice him. So he's kind of just there. Didn't shoot much. He's kind of just there. I don't know if he's out there just thinking too much, trying not to make a mistake or whatever it is. I know he's trying to be a pest on defense, but offensively, it's kind of like, he's just out there sometimes. So I don't know if I would say he looked shook out there. Especially with Jordan Poole having a great game. He had the hot hand, so I know he probably didn't want to force the issue either. But yeah, I mean, just looking at it, sometimes it's just like I don't even see him out there, but he's there.
Thinking about Johnny, man, made me remember. Hey, real quick, shout out to the Capital City Go-Go.
Mm-hmm.
Third straight year in the playoffs, man. Led by Jules Bernard and Justin Champagny, man. So definitely want to do a shout out to the Capital City Go-Go, man, back in the playoffs in the G League. But getting back to Johnny, man. I mean, it is what it is. It's a mispick. I mean, I want to see him flourish, man. But when we're celebrating him scoring 8 points when he was the 10th overall pick in the NBA draft, that just shows you just, you know what I mean? Like, I hope the young man really figures it out, whether it's here in DC or going somewhere else going forward, man. But it is what it is. It's a mispick, man. It really is because we said it before. When Jules Bernard and Justin Champagny come in here on two-way contracts or a 10-day contract, and they automatically play just so much more better than him, and he's a 10th overall pick. That tells you all you need to know. So it is what it is at this point.
Right. Yeah. Champagny and Jules Bernard, like you said, those guys. Even Pat Baldwin Jr.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys. I think if Hamidou Diallo played, I think he would be very impactful.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a couple guys that kind of have
RJ Hampton.
Yeah, RJ Hampton. I do want to see a little bit of him. There was 8 games left, something like that. So I think they should try to give him some playing time. But yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. But you just got to realize sometimes that things won't work out. Cotty 1999 says the season feels over less fun with Al Jordan Poole gave us a great day. Yeah, great game. Yeah, he did. He certainly did. He played his butt off. Bilal, yeah, it's unfortunate he's got the injury, but I'm excited for his off season. I'm excited for him to get in the weight room and improve on his ball handling and shooting.
Oh, same here, man. Like I said, and that's why I'm so excited to see Jordan Poole play like this, man. Because when you think about it, we had him with the young core that we have as part of the foundation. I mean, we ain't looking too shabby going forward. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, because look, Denny has broken out. I mean, Corey Kispert's taking. I mean, he's taking his L's this year too. But Corey Kispert, he's that consistent source of points, man. That I think that they definitely need to consider because everybody needs a shooter on the team. I mean, if Duncan Robinson can get an extension, Corey Kispert get one. I'm just saying, no shade on Duncan Robinson, but he's a shooter. So we definitely need a shooter. So I definitely want to see if they can put him, bring him back in an extension, man. Because next year is his contract year. So Bilal, look at how much potential he has. When he figures it out on offense, watch out because you could have a star on him. So I mean, looking at these young guys, like I said, Jordan Poole's young, so that's another fact looked at. So if he can play like this, if he can be that guy, then we took a year off, in my opinion, of the rebuild. This draft coming up, I get it as a developmental draft. You don't really have anybody who's going to come in and start right away. But I mean, even if you pick up Reese, I practice his daggone name today, man. Reshot, Zachary, the guy with the French guy, you know what I'm talking about? Resache.
Right.
He's a forward, man, who's got a lot of potential offensively. I mean, of course, you got Alex Hart. So we can have the ability to go pick up 3 more young players. So, I mean, like I said, very excited about the future. But can you explain why? I don't know. I didn't even answer the question. Can you explain why Gil is on the court during crunch time? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was one of the few things I kind of questioned tonight, the small ball and Anthony Gill. But then again, Anthony Gill, when he comes in, he's been playing quality minutes, man. So it's just one of those things, man. You can nitpick and look at this and that and, try to question why you lost. And it's not all on Corey Kispert, but, small things were contributors to why we lost tonight.
Right. Yeah, Locked On Lost says the season was over 40 games ago. Who cares? Just get to the draft. He also says 70 games into the season, they decide to start playing. That's the Wizards. There was also, He says Cam is killing the Wiz, but Poole's killing the Nets.
Yep.
There was another one. Yeah, he said Kispert missed the free throw. He missed the expletive free throw. There was another comment that he had in there too. Let's see here. You talking about Jordan Poole and consistency? Yeah, I know. It's hard to talk about him inconsistent. And then he said this just in cargo ships don't have brakes. Yeah, I mean, we won't talk about it too much, the situation. But it was unfortunate to see that happen to the bridge to the key bridge in Baltimore. Yeah. But Jordan Poole and consistency. Yeah, it's something I want to see. And lately he's been doing that. You know, he's not putting up 38 every game, of course, or 30, but you know, he's been impactful. He's controlled his game. You know, he's getting to the basket. He's getting others involved. He's knocking down the three ball. You know, so those are some things we want to see. You know, him having the ball in his hands more, and he was playing with Jared Butler at times. I saw somebody in the comments say that, you know, they should have took Jared Butler out of the game, but you know, him not playing with Tyus Jones or them staggering his minutes where Tyus Jones would start and Jordan would come off the bench, or Tyus Jones has been out for the last 5 games. Jordan Poole he's kind of had more of the keys, but I always say, even when he was playing the point guard position, or even when he had the ball in his hands, he was just not playing well in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Whether it was off ball, on ball, he was just bad. He was awful. But now I just feel like he's more focused. He's playing more mature basketball. He is taking some tough shots, but he's making them now, where before he just wasn't making them. So it's good to see him play well with the ball in his hands. And I think just him playing at that point guard position, it certainly has helped. But himself, he's playing better ball anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the ball's in his court. Like I said, if he wants it, it's there, because look at the talent. You know, like I said, if you look at John Wall, which is my favorite Wizard outside of Gilbert Arenas, if you look at John Wall, what did he do best? Collapsing the defense with his speed, driving the lane, utilizing outside shooters like Bradley Beal, Otto Porter. Look, John Wall got Otto Porter paid, you know, and shout out to Otto Porter, just retired. So Jordan Poole has one thing that John Wall didn't have, which is a shot. Because John Wall struggled with a consistent jump shot his whole career, man. And then you can argue that, you know, whatever. But Jordan Poole, look, the talent is there. And again, it's just consistency. That's it. You know, if he could be that consistent guy, he could be a pillar, man, in my opinion, because you have young talent here. 3 picks coming up in the upcoming draft. You know, and I still think we need to try to go get Cooper Flag, man. But, I mean, you see the light at the end of the tunnel now. You know, where before it's like, oh, man, we just suck. And now it's like, you know, what's the future? You can see the future now. There's young talent here. So just building upon that. And I think that if Jordan Poole really wants to be the guy, he can be. And again, if he doesn't, man, I said it all year long, you know, be transparent about it. And now you have value. We could definitely flip him now, because if he's going to play like this, there's going to be teams next year that are going to want a guy who can create his own shot, push the tempo, and play like he's been playing. So I think it's a win-win either way.
Definitely. And so last comment here. DC Onion said, hey, I had a nice pump fake, laugh my butt off. But yeah, we're going to read some more comments tomorrow night. We'll read DC Onion's comment talking about Johnny Davis playing against Cam Thomas. Blimey, Maryland. Yes, we talked about that. Draymond got ejected within the first 2 minutes of the game. Jordan Poole got 38. And William Lee talking about John Wall. We'll talk about it tomorrow night as well. So, yeah, we just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you guys get podcasts. So make sure you guys check us out tomorrow night as well. Make sure you guys subscribe. Hit that like button as well. Hell to the Wizards. Peace.